He's in! Comets win! Comets win!
There's a nice feed by Hunter! And Baisley with the rip. Dean Larry, you got to load that.
Of high school hoops, the Anderson Redskins are taking on the Milford Eagles. Getting off to a quick start here. Milford controlled the opening tip. Brady Sluter gets first 2 points for the Eagles. Anderson comes into this game struggling on the season, it's fair to say. 2-15 overall, 1-9 in the league. Milford 7-10 overall, 4-6 in the league. I'm Glenn Olson, joined by my partner Mike Lorienti. We're in the home stretch of the regular season here, Mike. Just 2 weeks remaining.
Yeah, there's each team's got 4 games left after tonight, with some tough opponents, and the majority of their games are on the road. So hopefully Milford tonight get a little home cooking, maybe see if they can come away here with the W. It's going to be an ECC Classic. It's going to be a good game regardless of the records.
Yeah, despite Anderson's less than stellar record, I think it's fair to say they've had some pretty close games. As a shot goes up off the glass, Milford conceding the offensive board. It's rebounded easily underneath by Josh Overbeek. Anderson down quickly. When these teams met back on December 18th, it was 61-46. But the second quarter, Anderson dominated that second quarter before Milford got back on track. So that's why they play the game. Anything can happen.
That's why you lace them up. Good aggressive play over there. Looks like that ball was touched out of bounds by Milford. Anderson ball. 2-0 here, just under in the beginning of the game here, Glenn.
Actually, the referee signaled toward the Milford basket.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Stephen Huxell's going to inbound it right next to his head coach, Joe Cameron, who you see there on your shot. Inbound play being guarded by Matt Thon of the Redskins.
Tonight was a special night here at the Nest. They had an introduction of 4 individuals into the Milford Hall of Fame.
Always draws a big crowd.
Yes, it did.
Congratulations to those new Hall of Fame members. Caleb Farrell tries to go to the basket underneath, and he's going to be fouled by Michael Brandy.
Well, that's a famous name here at Milford, isn't it?
Yeah, there's been a long line of Farrells.
Long line. Here's a replay of that drive to the basket and the foul. Farrell drives it. Nice fake there, gets the defender up in the air, and he's fouled.
Farrell, a 5'11" senior guard, comes into the game averaging 3.1 points, just under 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Nice shot of one of the many seniors on this Eagles roster.
It is a senior-driven team. It's absolutely, Glenn.
Milford out in front, 3-0 now. Anderson down quickly into their offensive half court. Milford in that pack line defense.
They're aggressive on that defense. They're trying to defend that ball real well. There's a foul.
Yeah, that's
travel.
Oh, travel, yeah. It was a drive in by James Cannon that time. Thought maybe we were going to get a foul on Caleb Farrell, who we had just talked up so much, but the referee saw the feet moving.
Got a little timeout on the court. Still 3-0 Milford. You know, Glenn, we talked about records coming in, and you're right. It's not been a good year for either of the teams. It's been a struggle. You know, Anderson, as you mentioned, has had some close games. He's got to figure out how to win them when it gets tight down the stretch.
And really, you know, kind of a youth movement, I guess you could say, for Anderson. Of their starters tonight, Rogers is a senior, Camden a junior, Overbeek's a sophomore, Brandy's a senior, Don's a senior. But so they've got some younger players on the roster. Several guys that won't start are contributing. Ryan Kelly, for example, he's a junior guard, averaging 5.3 points. So you know, they've got some non-seniors that are playing a pivotal role off the bench for the Redskins. So it's been a tough couple years for the Redskins. 10-13 last year, 10-13 the year before. Last really winning season back in the 15-16 season, they were 14-9, but split the league at 7-7.
Nice drive the basket, no good.
Yeah, Huxell
rebound.
Yeah, Huxell gets his own rebound and puts it up off the glass to get his first 2 points of the night. He comes in averaging 14 points a game. Was up for one of the Enquirer Athletes of the Week voting last week, I believe it was.
Yes, it was. We're going to be calling his name quite a bit tonight, Glenn. As we talked about in the opening few seconds there, this Milford goes right through him. So as he goes, the team goes.
Milford very aggressive defensively tonight, doing a good job of denying Anderson a clean look at the basket at all, as Anderson has been held scoreless for just about the first 3 minutes of this game. There's a drive in just inside
Knocked
15
away.
plate. Yeah, Huxell's going to take it back down,
And in.
up and off the glass. 2 in a row for Stephen Huxell, the senior point guard. Anderson's going to have to do a better job of setting screens, trying to get something going offensively.
There's another turnover.
Yep, had his back.
That's going to be timeout. Yep.
Had his back pocket
Yep.
picked.
Anderson getting a little sloppy with that ball, and I think it's also a reflection on that real intense defense that Milford's playing. Good hands, knocking that ball away. Huxell laid it up and in.
So right away, in the first not even 4 minutes of this game, Anderson has had to burn 2 timeouts, and they find themselves in a 9-0 hole.
Not a good start.
Yeah, not able to get anything going. Are the Anderson Redskins. Take us through the last 2.
Yeah, here
baskets.
you see Huxell come in, great hands, knocked it away, takes it to the length of the court, lays it up and in. And you're seeing here deja vu almost all over again. This time he comes from behind Glenn, and he takes it all the way and lays it in. So they're going to have to figure out where he is on the court at all times.
Yeah, Huxell in that loss to McNicholas earlier in the week, it was again a bad loss for the Eagles. They lost 57-38. I believe Stephen was limited to 5 points in that game, so it will be curious to see if Anderson can make any defensive adjustments to try to put a little more pressure on Stephen Huxell. There you saw the Redskins in the huddle, coached by Chris DeLattell. I believe he's in his 2nd or 3rd season. My memory's failing me as to exactly which, but I believe it's his 2nd season at the helm of the Redskins program out in the Forest Hills district.
He had a little passion on that discussion he was having with those players.
Yeah, well,
To say the least, I think he's unhappy with how they've been handling that ball.
you got to burn 2 timeouts in the first 3 minutes of the game. I don't know too many coaches that would be happy,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But Milford, yeah, aggressively using the body. There you see Caleb Farrell there doing a great job frustrating Joey Newton.
There's a nice cut to the basket, foul.
Yeah, and that's what Anderson's going to have to do is be aggressive, going to the hole. That was Josiah Dongle. He does not start for this Redskins team, but he is all over the stat sheet for them. Brady Sluter picks up his first foul. Dongle is 4th in the ECC in rebounds with just under 6, and 5th in blocks with about a block a game. Definitely not going to make the free throw statistics as he puts that first one off the back iron.
Well, he comes in shooting 35%, Glenn, so stats don't lie.
He's the guy you want to foul then, right?
Yep, there's another one, in and out.
Yep.
Anderson still looking for their first points. Halfway through the first period here.
9-0, Milford out in front, being very patient on offense. That's a trademark of a Joe Cameron offense, being very patient. There was a drive to the hole by Jake Ayler. Remember his name from football season, don't we?
Yes, he saw a little football move there. So I think he got fouled on the way to the basket by Dongle. That's his first foul. It's going to put him on the line. It's going to put Ayler on the line for 2. Nice crowd here at the Nest, Glenn.
Yeah, Flock's out in full force tonight.
Here's a replay of the foul. You see Ayler driving to the basket. Nice move, and then boom. There's a blocking foul right there. Put him on the line.
Just couldn't get his feet quite set. 3 team fouls so far in the game. 1 for Milford. 10-0 now. Second shot on the way for Ayler. Drains it.
Milford's going to press full court.
Don't see that a lot out of Milford. The big senior, Connor Foster, is in the game now. Connor, of course, on his way to Northwestern on a football scholarship. Will play offensive line up there. Blocking down the court quickly is Ayler. Ayler dishes it off up to the hole hard, and a whistle underneath the Eagles basket.
Boy, Glenn, I don't know if we could get a replay on that. That was one pass into the basket. That was really, really quick. Here's a replay. The block is, the shot's blocked, and then there's one pass to the basket, and then lays it up, and he's fouled.
Yep.
That's Ayler again is going to be on the line.
Well, and it's
Misses the first one.
Dongle's second foul now, 4 on the team.
Imagine they're going to have to get him out.
Yep. Like I said, he's a guy that's not starting, but is playing a pivotal role for the Redskins, and right away you're going to lose one of your taller players out of the game.
Yeah, he's 3rd in the team in scoring. Looks like Coach Chris how do you say that last name?
DeLattell.
DeLattell is going to leave him in. There's another turnover by Anderson.
Yep. Connor Foster. Stephen Huxell from the left side for 3, and he drains it. 9 points in the game.
Got another timeout
for Stephen
Very
Huxell.
interesting, Glenn. He's taking the 5 guys that are on the floor. He's sitting them all down, and he's putting 5 new ones in. I think Coach DeLattell is absolutely beside himself.
Let's go back, take a look here at Stephen Huxell draining that 3 from the left side. There you see what you thought was going to be a baseline drive. Huxell gets open from the left side, just drains it.
Good ball movement by the Eagles. Look at making the extra pass, looking for the open guy.
You let Stephen Huxell stay open, wide open like that, and give him a clean look at the basket and a chance to get his feet set, he's going to make you pay for it.
Yeah, he's shooting almost 40% from 3 points, so the odds are almost half the time he's going to make it.
Well, and like we said earlier, Huxell's a guy that you have to frustrate if you want to try to slow down Milford, and Anderson obviously not been able to do that. He's got 9 points in the game so far.
Yep.
He's got over half of Milford's points.
So as I said, there is 5 new players on the court here for Anderson.
Grant Rogers brought the ball down. It's Josh Overbeek. 3-pointer goes up, no good. It's going to go off the gear. It'll be Eagles ball. Huxell will inbound it. Nope, we're going to change that up now. It's going to be Jack Lyles inbounding it to Huxell. Facing no pressure at all until he gets to midcourt. Huxell looks over to Joe Cameron to get the play call for this offensive set.
Anderson just needs to figure out how to break the seal on the basket over there.
Nice drive in. Can't get the roll as Huxell rebounded by the Redskins. They'll bring it down and see if they can put anything to work they may have implemented during that timeout. Great defense by Lyles on the far side of the court. He's the last one to touch it. It'll be Anderson ball underneath. Caleb Farrell is going to check back in the game for the Eagles.
Milford's not letting up. They're keeping that pressure. You talked about the last time they played here, right, Glenn?
Yep.
Anderson came out in that second period and really had it dominated. So I think Milford remembers that, so they're going to keep the pressure on him. I
think it was 17-11. There's a 3-pointer. It's going to go up for the Redskins and fall through for number 23, Michael Brandy. Finally, at the 2:52 mark, let's call it, Anderson finds the scoreboard. Baseline drive, pull up, shot will not fall down for Ayler.
Knocked away by Foster. You mentioned, Glenn, he's going to Northwestern on a football scholarship.
Absolutely.
That's quite an accomplishment and a great university academically.
Correct on both counts. Another pretty good offensive lineman is following the route of Zach Street.
That's right.
He went to Northwestern, went on to play at the Saints. Now he's the Saints play-by-play announcer, not a color analyst. He is the play-by-play guy. So
I heard that. Did he retire? This is his
first year, yeah. Retired after last season and battled some injuries.
Yep.
Last couple of years.
Yep.
But yeah, actually put the work in and auditioned for the play-by-play role. So I believe it's him and Deuce McAllister in the Saints radio booth now.
That's pretty impressive.
3-pointer is going to go up from the right side, will not fall. Rebounded by Huxell, who's going to bring it down quickly for Milford. There's that patented quick ball movement. Yep, drive into the lane by Dickerson. Connor Foster gets his first 2 points on the assist.
Boy, Milford really is moving that ball around and making that extra pass. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but that was a thing of beauty last time down the court.
Opportunity for Anderson. Another 3-pointer is going to get hurled up by Camden, will not fall. Huxell stays in bounds on the rebound, dishes it off to Ayler to bring it down. Ayler will get the offense moving. There's Caleb Farrell's going to drive in, dishes it off to Dickerson. Dickerson finds himself in a little bit of trouble. Kick it back up top to Caleb Farrell. Farrell's going to back out, look for a better passing lane. Dickerson now with the ball up top, trying to feed it to Connor Foster. Couldn't quite get through the traffic. Dickerson couldn't get his shot to fall, rebounded by the Redskins. Approaching the 120 mark. 3-pointer going up from straight up top off the front of the iron for Michael Brandy. Again, Ayler's going to bring the ball down. Huxell's going to have to move over onto the right side. The ball's going to stay on the left. There's Dickerson all by himself out there. Now Stevie with it on the left side. Drive in, dishes it off. Connor Foster off the glass underneath.
Boy, that was a great head fake by Huxell. Got the player up in the air and just bounced past it into Foster, and he laid it up and in. There's another turnover.
Huxell makes him pay again. 11 points in the game for Stephen Huxell.
What do you do if you're Anderson, Glenn? I mean, seriously.
Well, you burnt 3 timeouts, and it doesn't seem to have done a lot of good. So I really don't know what it is. We're going to take a look at these last 2 baskets here, Mike.
Here we go. You talked about that, getting him up in the air and then the bounce pass into Foster off the glass and in. And here's the steal. We've seen that before, right?
Yep.
And an easy layup and in.
21-3, under 40 seconds now. Here come the Redskins trying to get some more points here in the closing seconds, but there's Caleb Farrell being aggressive, tipping it away. Milford will have an opportunity to drain these last 25 seconds or so.
That was great anticipation by Farrell, cut in front of the Anderson and knocked the player and knocked the ball away. And to your point, Milford's going to hold it for the last shot.
Well, the good news for Anderson is at least it's only 1 shot, not giving up 4 quick points off the turnovers.
Absolutely.
But Anderson searching, going to need to search for answers quickly. Caleb Farrell from way up top will not fall. So your score at the end of the first quarter is Milford 21, Anderson 3. We're going to step away for a 15-second break. We'll be right back on High School Hoops.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Hey, Glenn, we're back here at the end of the first period. Let's look at some of the statistics. And you can understand, pretty ugly for one side and much better on the other side. We'll start here with Anderson. They only scored 3 points, and that was 1 basket by Michael Brandy. There's not much more to say about that. As you look at the Milford, again, no surprise. Huxell's leading with 11. Foster's got 4. Ayler's got 3. And then you got Sudler and Farrell with 2 and 1 respectively.
Well, as Mike said, good crowd on hand here tonight. It was Hall of Fame night. Activities taking place between the JV and varsity game. Good look at the flock. And
the students always represent themselves very well at these games.
Well, they were well rested today, no school because of the weather.
For 3 days, right?
Yeah, 3 in a row. 3-pointer goes up from deep in the left corner for number 5. James Camden will not fall.
You had the polar vortex for 2 and white death for 1, so we all survived. Fortunately for you, Glenn, you were in a much warmer region.
I picked a good weekend to go do some training in Tucson.
You didn't have to deal with it.
I did not. And I'll tell you, that first breath when I stepped out at CBG today hurt.
Yeah, I'll bet it did.
It hurt. Camden had fired up a 3-pointer. It was no good. Farrell's going to do the same. It's off the back iron, no good. Farrell just has not had a great season shooting the ball. As we said, he's averaging just over 3 points. So trying to find some answers here late in the season. Heading into tournament play. It'll be here before we know it.
Yep.
That's a travel is going to be called underneath on Dongle.
Coach is putting him back in. He's got a couple fouls. That's a risk right now. But I think, Anderson needs any kind of spark right now.
Yeah, when you've won 2 games, you get some latitude you may not ordinarily get, if I can spit it out.
Yeah.
So 21-3 underway here in the second quarter from Milford High School. Glenn Olson and Michael Orienti with you. Milford on offense, down on the far end of the court.
Good hands over there by Ryan Kelly. Knocked that ball away. Will stay Milford down at the far end of the court.
Ehlers inbounds the ball. Farrell with it. Finds Lyles. Going to give it back to Ehler. Back to Lyles. Lyles lets one fly. Only 2 points though. His first 2 points of the game, he comes in averaging about 8.5. 20-point lead for the Eagles. Milford continues to be relentless defensively.
They are, Glenn. That's an understatement. They are really pressuring that ball, not getting Anderson an opportunity, really getting the open looks.
Camden had a good look there, though,
Yeah,
and
he
drains the three from the left side or the right side of the court. Milford again, down quickly. Shot just inside the three-point line is going to fall through for Jack Lyles. 4 points in the game now for number 1, 6'1" junior guard. Drive into the line. How was that not a travel?
Well,
I know it's a 19-point lead, but how was that not a travel?
is this NBA basketball here?
Oh my goodness.
I think, yeah.
Play the game. I don't.
Right.
We'll save that. So
Yeah,
anyway,
you got to play the game as if it's tie score, right? Or referee the game as if it's a tie score.
Farrell seemed determined to make something happen.
Nice hands by Dangle.
Yep. That was Cade Riesenberg. Gave that one up. He's going to go down and give Dongle some fits. A shot to the back of the head there. Looked pretty nasty for Jack Lyles. He's up and on his feet quickly, though.
Boy, we've been calling Dongle's name quite a bit, but boy, here, we can see it here.
Huxell checks back in during the timeout.
He takes it to the length of the floor. Had kind of an awkward position there to try to do that layup, and then he gets hit in the back of the head.
Farrell brings the ball down. It's a whistle at the other end. Lyles put the shot up. That's a travel, as Mike said.
Coach Cameron was looking for a little explanation on that.
Yeah. Well, considering you get 8 steps at the other end of the floor, but maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
8 might be an exaggeration.
Coach Cameron's been kind of quiet so far.
Well, you got a 19-point lead. There's not a whole lot you can get upset about.
I've seen him get upset with a bigger lead than that.
So here comes Anderson. Ball's passed down into the corner by Tyler Compton. They'll try to reset things up top. Good quick ball movement. Nice. Baseline drive. Riesenberg denied it.
That was good defense by Riesenberg.
Dish in, 3-pointers coming up from the left side, and that's going to fall through for Matt Thon.
All of Anderson's points tonight have been on 3-pointers, so maybe what they ought to do is just stay around that 3-point line tonight and shoot.
Thon, Brandy, and Camden, each with a 3-pointer.
Fouls on 21, Austin Minor. That's that team 6th foul.
Is it 21 or 12?
I thought it was 21. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they're both out there. So Caleb Farrell's at the free throw line and misses the first one. Off the back iron.
Farrell's offensive struggles continue. He's only shooting 46% from the free throw line, and he misses them both.
Didn't help his cause there. 25-9, approaching 4:45. There's a steal. Brady Sluter's going to try the spin move. Gets the kiss off the glass.
Nice move.
Brady Sluter, the 6'4" senior, pretty good baseball player too. Coach Kilgore, Tom Kilgore, the head baseball coach, in attendance here tonight for those Hall of Fame ceremonies. He's on the selection board.
Yep.
Riesenberg with the rebound, hands it off to Huxell. Bring it down for the Eagles. Pass over to the left side. Move the ball back up top. Farrell with it now. Gets a screen by Riesenberg, but backs out of it. Huxell.
Nice drive.
Yeah, Huxell drives in, gets hammered in the back. No foul, but points fall nonetheless.
Boy, he saw a little bit of an opening there, Glenn, and he took advantage of that. That first step was very quick for him.
13 points unofficially for Huxell. Spin move in the paint will not fall. And I think they're going to get Brady Sluter for slapping.
So, yeah.
Up on number 32, Matt Thon. Yep.
Here's a replay.
Foul number 2 on Sluter.
Nice drive to the basket. Sluter just a little bit too much on the arm.
Matt Thon will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair.
He's an 86% free throw shooter, Glenn.
So
also averaging just about 6 points per game.
Sluter will come out. Connor Foster will come in. A.J. Dickerson back in the game for Milford as well. Takes place at Caleb Farrell. But that free throw by Thon was the first non-3 points for the Redskins. But the second one, the old announcer jinx kicks in.
Yeah, well.
Couldn't get the bounce on the second one. 29-10. Milford leads. 3:45 remaining in the second quarter.
Much better second quarter for Anderson. Obviously, the first one was abysmal. But you know what? They're down 19, but that's why you play 4 quarters, right?
Yeah, it's an 8-7 in favor of Milford scoring situation here in the second quarter so far. So Anderson has calmed down a little bit and trying to make this game competitive. And Cade Riesenberg,
he lowered
physical, yeah, a little too physical on the other end.
He lowered. Here's a replay. Watch that shoulder. I think he forgot it. Thought he was playing football. Here's that.
That's Caleb. That was Caleb Farrell earlier.
Yeah. See if we get that replay. Yeah, here it is. Boom.
Yep.
Easy call by the official.
So Anderson came down, could not get the shot to fall. Was rebounded by Dickerson. Ball movement begins for the Eagles. Dickerson's trying to feed it to Connor Foster. He does. Foster's shot will not fall. Comes up with his own rebound off a deflection. Gets the kiss off the glass. 6 points in the game now for Connor Foster, who's averaging just over 3.5 coming in. So already well past his scoring average tonight.
And you know, I've noticed him, Glenn, that he sure likes to use that glass. It's there, might as well use it, right?
It's there, yeah. Bank's open, right? 3-pointer's gonna get fired up, in and out. Will not fall, rebounded by Huxell for the Eagles. 31-10, under 2.5 now. 3-pointer's gonna go up from the left side, will not fall for Jack Lyles. Rebounded by the Redskins, who are gonna slow things down, try to run an offensive play down here, see if they can get a clean look at the basket. There's a drive in though by Alex Kirk. So let's go back and take a look at Connor Foster's last basket, Mike.
Yeah, you know, he's 6'8". He's got a lot of girth in there. You know, it's kind of hard to move him off of that box. Stays with it, lays it up off the glass and in. As I mentioned, he's 6'8", 280. And I imagine when he gets to Northwestern, they might beef him up even a little bit more.
Hello, training table.
Yep.
So while we're in the replay, the foul was called on Milford's A.J. Dickerson. It's his first, but the team's 6th. So both teams with 6 team fouls. So we approach the last 2 minutes of the first half.
Good defense.
Yeah, Foster got in on Overbeek. Overbeek can't get the drop though. Now he's gonna.
Oh, nice hand.
Yeah, just taken away, stolen away by A.J. Dickerson. Wasn't a whole lot to it. He just took the ball out of his hands. Ayler thinking about a spin move. He's gonna kick it back out to Dickerson.
Nice
Dickerson
pass.
Back to Ayler. Shot falls through. 6 points in the game for Jake Ayler, 33-10 Eagles.
And you know, Glenn, you mentioned about Anderson getting the ball down court fast, setting up an offensive play. I don't think they want to get into a running game here with Milford.
No, what they're going to have to do is attempt to be
There's
patient.
Another turnover, Glenn.
Yeah, it's hard with this defense.
Oh, that's intentional.
Yeah, that was A.J. Dickerson going up and fouled hard.
Yeah, that if we get a replay, that might be. Here's a replay on that. If it wasn't, it was an aggressive foul. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it's not going to be intentional. They're lined up in the lane.
Oh, you know what? It looked a little worse than it did.
So James Camden picks up his second foul. Milford now will have the bonus for the last minute and 24 seconds of the first half.
Milford up to a 23-point lead.
Second shot on the way for A.J. Dickerson.
Good.
33-10.
Anderson needs to set this, really get it set up to get a good look at the basket.
Nice ball movement there by Tyler.
Blocked by a big man.
By Tyler Compton, but Connor Foster doesn't care about the ball movement. Put that shot up, and it's SWAT City.
Don't come into this area, Foster says.
Substitution coming in. Michael Brandy for the Redskins, along with Matt Thon. It'll be Redskins ball underneath their own basket. Jack Lyles will guard the inbound pass for Milford.
Turnover.
Yep, tipped away. Yet another turnover. Will be interesting to see that stat sheet at halftime.
Yeah.
With the turnovers. Huxell looked like he might have lost control of it down there. There's a struggle for control down on the baseline. It'll be Redskins ball.
Yeah, we'll look at those first half statistics. Yeah, here's the replay of that out of bounds. You can see the ball is kind of messing around a little bit, and then
Off Dickerson.
Dickerson touched it right on the line. See what Anderson's going to do here. Milford's going to pressure him. Nice pick.
Yep, move into the lane. Shot will not fall. For Thon, here comes Milford quickly. Three-pointer coming up from the right side's off the mark, and a whistle underneath.
Boy, Thon had a good look at that. That ball just didn't drop. He come off a screen, had a nice lane to the basket. Unfortunately, the ball didn't drop.
And I'm not sure what's going to be the ugliest, the turnovers or the shooting percentage for the Redskins here in the first half, unfortunately for Anderson fans. And there's another turnover. Yep, off. Came in a little high for Michael Brandy. Couldn't go up and get it. So it'll be Eagle ball right in front of their own bench. Ayler will inbound it to Huxell, who's going to have just under 28 seconds with which to work.
I would imagine Milford's going to hold it to the last for one shot. And Anderson's probably going to be pretty much content to let him do it.
So it was close for a while, but Milford has pulled away.
They did.
Now with a 14-7 scoring advantage so far in this quarter.
It was just 8-7. There's a three.
Yep, Jack Wiles.
That's adding insult to injury for the Anderson Redskins.
Well, your score at halftime is Milford 38, Anderson 10, a 17-7 scoring advantage. Glenn Olson and Mike Lorienti with you on High School Hoops here on ICRC-TV Sports. We're going to step away for halftime, and we'll be back to review the first half statistics in just a few moments.
Hi, I'm Clark Kellogg. I've attended basketball games from coast to coast over the years as a participant, broadcaster, parent, and fan. And believe me, I've seen my share of unsporting behavior. The purpose of school sports is for kids to have fun, develop their skills, and learn lessons that will last a lifetime. So when you attend a school contest, please keep that in mind. Remember to behave in a way that reflects positively on your child, your school, and your community. Let's respect the game.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
I remember, Dad, you and Mom got this car with a hatchback. I said, I'd be happy to give you the money to get a really great car. And he said, well, no, this works for me. I says, why? Because it's the right height to put the meals in. Dad, tell me when you first got an inkling about Meals on Wheels.
There was kind of an abandoned house. That's where we got started with Meals on Wheels. We kind of filled a need for people as they got older.
It's the human interaction that probably fed them much more than the food.
Oh, yeah. When you can see somebody else benefiting by your life in some way, you can't help but feel good about it, I think.
Well, the reason I'm involved, Dad, is because you are, and you're so inspiring. How you've impacted people is enormous.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Jeff, thank you so much. And first of all, I want to thank the committee for selecting me as one of the outstanding community people on the
set.
I really do appreciate that. It makes me feel great.
Nice ball movement there by Tyler.
Matt's just about to get his project approved, so he'll be an Eagle. We say thank you for the freedom that you have given us. We are here because of you.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Ohio. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to High School Hoops on ICRC-TV Sports. Glenn Olson and Mike Lorienti with you from Milford, where the Eagles have a commanding lead, 35-10. Mike, take us through the stat sheet.
Yeah, just hit on a few of the really high points here, or low points, depending on whether your glass is half empty or half full. We've been talking a lot about turnovers. Anderson had more turnovers, 14, than they did points, which they had 11. They shot 15% from the field goal, 1 of 4 from free throw line, 25% not very good. On the flip side, as you look at Milford, only 4 turnovers. For the game, they've shot 60% from the field. They've shot 6 of 10 from the free throw line and 2 of 5 from the three-point line. Hence, the score is 38-10 in favor of Milford.
Yeah, just amazing. Of those 14 turnovers, 11 coming off the steal for the Eagles. So, Milford has really ratcheted up the defense tonight. Talked to someone who was at the McNick game for the Eagles earlier in the week. Said it wasn't their finest defensive effort, obviously losing by about 20 points, give or take a few points. So Milford really rebounded nicely against an Anderson squad that's been struggling, and they need some momentum, as we talked about, going into that killer stretch to end the season. They go 2 Taft, 2 Loveland, 2 Walnut Hills, and then senior night here 2 weeks from tonight against the Turpin Spartans, who have been mainly playing very good basketball this year. A couple blips on their record, but good basketball.
Yeah, Glenn, you talked about, on the defensive side, Milford not having a very good performance the last game. You've got to believe Coach Cameron and his staff, Greg Rick and those guys, really stressed that in practice this week. And it's obviously shown the aggressiveness out here on the court, and it's turned into a lot of points for the Eagles.
Yeah, so just to recap, back on December 18th, these two teams met over at Anderson. It was 61-46. Brady Sluter was the leading scorer with 16 points in that game. Stephen Huxell has 13 already in this game for Milford. So Anderson's going to have to figure out a way to slow down Stephen Huxell tonight.
Well, we talked about Huxell at the beginning. Here it is, 35-10. And as he goes, that's how Milford goes. And, as you said, Glenn, he's got 13 points, leading the team. Right behind that is Lyles with 7. You've got a couple guys with 5 and 6. But, Huxell's, he runs the show, both on the offense and the defensive side as well. He's got 3 steals tonight.
See the Eagles getting ready to break the huddle. Coach Joe Cameron and his trusted assistant, Chris Vollman, right behind him. So let's take a look at the last shot of the first half here before we get set with the action here in the third quarter.
Yeah, here we go. Good ball movement. Nice 3.
Jack Lyles
buried it. Just, again, great shot at the end of the game, at the end of the half there, to put Milford up 25 points.
All right, so the halftime festivities are over. 38-10, 8 minutes shows on the clock here to start the third quarter. It'll be Milford ball on the alternating possession. Obviously, team fouls reset at 0. Anderson just with 2 timeouts remaining. Milford has all 5.
Yeah, we talk about halftime adjustments, and I'm sure both coaches are making some adjustments. I would have to say the Anderson's got to say, hey, let's forget about that first half. Let's see if we can't have a better second half here, at least make this game respectable.
Well, and the season resets once you get to the tournament. It's not going to be an ideal situation for Anderson. They're going to be seated very high and playing a very low-seeded team, but you know, it's all about getting ready for the tournament right now.
Right.
You know, all about getting ready for the tournament. So Brady Sluter in a little bit of trouble down underneath the basket, and I believe they're going to call that foul on Overbeek. Yeah, that'll be his first.
We talked about fouls, and you know, right at the beginning of this third period, Sluter on the line for 2.
Sluter with 4 points in the game so far, and make it 5.
You know, Milford's had a history of athletes going multiple sports. Sluter's just another one. I've seen him on the baseball field, and you're right, Glenn. He's a good ball player.
Great height, 6'4", 6 points in the game now for Brady Sluter. Yeah, some football guys with Foster and Ayler out there among others. So, yeah, the 2 and 3 sport athletes not quite dead yet.
You know what? You read my mind, Glenn, because I was going to say the same thing. In today's day of focusing on one sport,
yes, specialization
and training year-round, et cetera, it's nice to see some of these kids playing multiple sports.
Sluter's shot will not fall. It's rebounded underneath by Brandy. And, you know, to your point, the studies continue to be promoted by the OHSAA that the players who play multiple sports do better.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, every now and then you're going to get your freak of nature that, you know, in baseball or that's, you know, their whole life is one sport. But for most of these kids who honestly will be lucky to play Division II or Division III sports, should be playing multiple sports.
Exactly.
Huxell from just about 15 feet. It will not fall. Nice rebound by Caleb Farrell that time, though, extending out to pull it in.
And being involved in athletics, regardless of what that means, is a huge part of the high school experience.
Rare Eagle turnover. There's Michael Brandy comes up with it. Now we're going to get a foul at the other end, I believe, on A.J. Dickerson. Actually, Jake Ayler, his second. Sorry.
There's a replay here. And to your point, Glenn, very rare turnover by the Eagles. Good defense.
Yeah, good effort by Lyles. Just tipped it back into his hands.
Not a foul on the way to the basket. Oh, there's a steal.
Yep, Huxell back down quickly. Rebound up and off the glass, essentially uncontested. 15 points unofficially for Stephen Huxell.
He's a senior 6'2", senior guard. He might have a shot at a Division II or Division III.
They're starting to try to get a body on him down there. That's Overbeek with that bucket. His first 2 points of the game, 42-12, a 30-point lead for the Eagles, approaching the 6-minute mark of the third quarter.
Biggest lead of the night.
Huxell, the ball out on the left side, being guarded closely by Thon.
Oh, he had Sluter for a cut to the basket.
Yep, Ayler missed it. Farrell feeds it down to Lyles. They were trying to, another turnover. Overbeek comes up with it, almost has his pocket picked. There's a three-pointer going up from the left side, will not fall for Camden.
There's only one Anderson guy under the basket for that offensive rebound.
Sluter from just inside the three-point line, nothing but nylon. 8 points in the game for Brady Sluter. He's doubled his point output for the first half so far here in the first 2.5 minutes of the third quarter.
They get a replay here on that last bucket. Nice pass. Pass over to Sluter. He takes about a 6-footer. Gets it nothing but the bottom of the net.
Eagles had taken a timeout. Or was it Anderson? Josh Simstrot says Anderson, and indeed it is. So Coach DeLattell not being conservative at all with those timeouts. He's got one for the remaining 13:32 of this contest. Joe Cameron still has all 5 in his pocket.
Was that an Anderson timeout?
It was. That's Josh said Anderson.
All right, I believe you, Josh.
Well, now they've corrected it, so it is Milford. So, okay, we'll get it sorted out here.
All right, Josh, that's your one mistake for the day.
We'll get it sorted out here eventually. So Joe Cameron with 4 timeouts and a 32-point lead.
There's a nice pass into the corner. Shot up, no good. Rebound, Milford.
Yep, well short on the left side. Anderson may try to spread things out a little bit defensively now. They'll fall back into a half-court defense. Look at this, wide open though.
Yep.
Huxell in the corner
He's
for
not a
3.
shot. He's not afraid to shoot that.
Anderson struggling for the ball,
Yeah, they got
and,
two guys.
and Farrell almost stole it away.
They're fighting amongst each other for the rebound.
Sometimes that's what 2 wins will get you. There's a fall away shot, will not fall underneath for Thon. Their shooting woes
Good hustle over there.
continue collectively for the Redskins.
Ball's turnover goes to Milford. Going to see Anderson do a full court press.
That's what I said. They're starting to ratchet up the defense a little bit.
Yeah. Trying to create some turnovers.
Hey, again, get ready for the postseason.
Might as well. There's
Ayler, 3, will not fall. Rebounded underneath easily by Thon. Thon, all kinds of pressure in his face by Ayler. Now here comes the trap. Yeah, here comes the trap. He gets out of it. Nope, stolen away by Brady Sluter. Sluter's gonna come down. Pulls up, step to the basket, will not fall. Rebounded underneath by Overbeek. Come the Anderson Redskins the other way, and that'll be a foul on Lyles.
good action there. That's up and down the court there, Glenn.
Coach Cameron's going to take a full timeout here.
That's interesting.
Milford will burn timeout number 2.
We got 4:15 to go in the third quarter. Milford up 32 points.
And it will be a full timeout.
There you see, get a nice view of the Eagles bench. There's Austin Rick and Craig Rick along listening in on what Coach Cameron's got to say. Austin's the freshman coach. Craig is the JV coach. I didn't see. Did the freshmen win tonight? You probably don't know. They don't play.
I got here late. Yeah, the freshman game was already over. So Josh Simsrod is telling us that the freshmen did win at the defending the last second shot by the Redskins. And
JV's won as well. So the Eagles looking for a sweep here at the Nest, the home of the Eagles.
They look to be well on their way to doing so. A 32-point lead. About 12 minutes of basketball remaining.
Barring some sort of an unbelievably historical collapse by the Eagles.
Well, it's been a fun night for Milford fans with the Hall of Fame inductions, the snow day for the students.
You've had 3 days off in a row, Glenn.
Enjoy it while you can.
I hear you.
Seen all the posts this week. If everybody gets a snow day but a auto mechanic or a healthcare worker.
And I think, what, Sunday it's supposed to be 60 degrees or something?
Yeah, beautiful day for everybody to get out and smoke a cigar on the deck during the Super Bowl, you know?
There you go.
All right, back to live action. Free throws at the other end. James Camden drills his first one after the timeout taken by the Eagles. Shot number 2 on the way, 4:15 to go in the third, as you see on your screen. Camden
both.
Makes them both. 5 points in the game for Camden. 3 points.
Stayed in that full court press. Created a turnover. How about that?
Yep, but there's a trap underneath. Milford really didn't have their wits about him, but an easy basket underneath by Brandy. Well, if you watch enough game film on Milford, you know they struggle against that press a little bit.
You did mention that earlier, Glenn.
Connor Foster strong to the basket, but too strong. Falls off the glass, rebounded underneath by Overbeek. Overbeek being guarded closely by Lyles. Here comes Lyles. Huxell's going to come up with it on the baseline to reset the offense. Farrell with it up top, waiting for the offense to regroup. Huxell flashes across the low post. He's got the ball over on the left side. It's going to be, it's going to be double teamed. Farrell with a little bit of trouble now. Ayler back to Farrell. Farrell thinks about diving in, dumps it back to Ayler. Foster now down in the low post with Lyles at the ball up top.
Boy, Anderson's looking at any opportunity to double team the ball, the ball.
Stephen Huxell drives in with no defense at all from outside the three-point line. Three-pointer's going to go up on the other end off the mark for Brandy. Anderson gets the rebound. No, there's another three, gets fired up by Compton. It won't fall. Rebound Eagles. Lyles thinks about shooting it, kicks it back over to Ayler. Ayler almost into a double team, back to Lyles. Huxell's going to drive in, split the defenders. Split the defenders, and he's fouled hard underneath by Overbeek. That'll be his second.
We see if we can get a replay of that. He got hit hard, right in the nose. I actually thought maybe he might have been bleeding on that.
I think
he is.
I think he's trying to keep it from coming out so he can shoot his free throws.
Yeah, they're going to have to go set him. I'm surprised.
Well, the official just looked and smiled at him. Farrell comes out of the game.
Okay, here's a replay. So Huxell going hard to the basket. See who gets fouled there. Was that number 20?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Boy, I lost the contact.
Is that what it is? He lost the contact, yeah.
He's saying, I don't need it. Everybody's looking for it. He's saying, I don't need it. I don't know that I'd want it back in after it's been on the floor that long. Well, hopefully it's not a very expensive contact for Huxell.
Coach Cameron's like, all right, let's go. Let's keep going here.
No, we'll find out in his free throws how much he needs it, right?
What side, whether it's his right or left, right?
Yeah.
He's doing one of the old one-eye thing, right? They're still looking for it.
You may have tried to do that in my younger days driving. It wasn't the wisest choice I ever made. Rebound will not, or free throw will not fall. It's rebounded underneath by Thon.
Something to be said about losing your contact, especially for a 73% free throw shooter.
Yep. Got to mess with your depth perception. There was Thon trying to go to the basket, and he's fouled on the other end.
You know, I don't wear contacts, but they're disposable, right?
Well, some of them are. I mean, some of them you can still soak overnight. They, you know, I wore contacts for many years, and I had ones that you would soak overnight. I had long-term contacts that I would still pick out at night. So it really just depends on what the patient and the eye doctor agree to. Thon gets his first free throw to fall. Cade Riesenberg checks back into the game. Huxell's going to come out now. And
he's heading over here to us. Maybe he gets a new contact in.
I don't know if he's got any with him. That'll be the next thing.
Yeah. Ah, nice shot up and in.
Yep, Thon. 7 points in the game now for Thon, 48-19.
Anderson staying in that press.
Yep, staying in it. You know, Milford is getting a little bit better. Teams are using that more against them now. You know, earlier in the year I saw them standing around a lot and being pressed. Now they're starting to move around and come back to the ball a little bit. Lyle's shot from the right side is off the mark. Riesenberg comes up, back up with it for Milford.
That's good hustle on that offensive rebound by Riesenberg.
Ayler thought about putting one up just inside the three-point line. He ends up back with the ball, though, fights through the trap. Connor Foster down in the paint's going to have to do something.
Nice pass.
Finds A.J. Dickerson on the backside. Dickerson's trying to struggle through it, and there's a 3-second call. So didn't end up being on Foster, but it very easily could have been. I think he might have had it for a little more than 3, but Dickerson didn't get the benefit of the doubt. So we've got an ankle brace that needs to be adjusted on the floor by the Redskins. That's all taken care of now.
About a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Milford's still up 31, 29 points.
Oh, nice. Split through the defenders, but the shooting woes continue for the Redskins, just not getting shots to fall. Ayler with the ball. Drives in,
nice.
Gets the kiss off the glass. We saw it.
First step by Ayler was exceptional.
Yep.
Caught Anderson basically sitting back, waiting for something to happen.
Spin move underneath by Thon. He can't get his shot to fall. Anderson not living right when it comes to shooting, but there quickly down the floor, Jake Ayler, he's got 10 points in this game right now, 52-19, under a minute to go.
I got to believe at some point in time here real soon, Coach Cameron's going to give these starters an opportunity to get some rest. Last thing you want to do, Glenn, is you're up this big, one of your core players gets hurt, and when you're coming down the stretch of the season, right?
A.J. Dickerson drains a 3 from the left side. Well, a lot of seniors on this team, as we've talked about, for the Eagles. And got some up-and-coming players that need some experience. We'll see what Coach Cameron does in the fourth quarter. Huxell's still out of the game.
Oh, there's a lid on that basket for Anderson.
Yeah, it's just...
It's actually gotten to the point where it's almost borderline ridiculous that those balls are not falling for him.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're cursed, because they just not getting shots to fall.
No.
And off the glass.
Yeah,
I mean, just easy layups.
Right.
So Ryan Kelly picks up his first foul of the game. So 55-19, 5.2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 3 team fouls for both squads. Shot will not fall for the Eagles. Desperation heave will be put off well after the buzzer, and the score will hold 55-19 at the end of the third quarter. Let's go back and take a look at some of our highlights from the third quarter, courtesy of Josh Simstrot, doing a little bit of everything out in the truck tonight. By himself, running the replay, the audio, keeping score.
All right, we'll see here. This is a great pass to get the ball quickly down court for an easy layup for Ayler. He'll come back with the 3 here. You can see a pass over here into the corner. I believe that was Dickerson for 3. So here's the replay schedule. You can see it tonight at 11:30 on Spectrum Channel 8, Cincinnati Optics, station 838. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, same schedule as far as Spectrum and Optics. Sunday, you can watch us before the Super Bowl on Spectrum 24, not available on Cincinnati Optics. And then Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday at 8 a.m. and Wednesday at 4 p.m. on Channel 84 on Spectrum. And then Tuesday, Channel 838 on Cincinnati Optics and 834.
Of course, you can always catch all of ICRC-TV's content archived at ICRC-TV.com, ICRC-TV.com. We're underway in the final quarter. 55-19, Milford out in front. Turnover battle, 17 now for Anderson. Milford was quite a few there, 8 in the second half as Anderson started using that press a little more.
Right, Anderson only had 3 turnovers in that third period, and Milford ended up, they had 8 in that period alone.
A.J. Dickerson picks up his second foul of the game, the team's 4th of the second half.
Those turnovers, I'm sure, are not going to make Coach Cameron happy.
Well, that's why you don't see a lot of the underclassmen out there playing at this point.
That's a great point.
Would be my guess. Overbeek gets a bucket there. He's got 4 points in the game unofficially, according to my stat sheet. Trying to keep up with here at our broadcast position in the far reaches of the gym here at Milford High School.
Can't get much farther than this.
Well, they tried to put us outside, and Josh negotiated successfully on our behalf.
Josh is a great negotiator. Appreciate that, Josh.
I know we've had some guys call a game off a monitor before, and I know some guys in Bristol's that do that replay.
Here's a replay right here.
We're laughing. Josh chimed in and said some of us direct and call games all at once, so it's a very good point.
Josh has the ability of walking and chewing gum at the same time, so he's quite talented. Yeah.
Boy, Coach DeLattelle is very animated and unhappy with our officiating crew here. Then at the other end, you didn't see it, but I caught it out of the corner of my eye because there were arms and hands waving everywhere. So a very frustrating season for the Redskins, to say the very least.
There's a 3.
Yep, a lot of arc, but well off the mark, and whistle down at the other end. Those of you familiar with Milford High School, it's the end near the Flay Center.
Coach DeLattelle, he's out there battling with his players the same way. So, he's fighting to the end, and that's the one thing about Anderson. They have not quit.
Well, you got to lead by example, right?
Yep.
You give up, your players will give up. So.
Yep. That's in all facets of life.
Dickerson with the ball, almost gets his pocket picked there by Camden. Milford retains possession though. Dickerson with a nice backdoor pass to Sluter. 10 points in the game now for Brady Sluter.
Good ball movement. I know I sound like a broken record, but that was really nice movement by the Eagles. Looking for that extra pass and finding that open player.
I believe that may be Dickerson's 3rd foul coming here. And indeed it is. So his 3rd, the team's 6th. So Anderson now One foul away from going into the bonus. Joey Newton's at the free throw line for the Redskins.
Dickerson, another one of those seniors on the squad. As you mentioned, Glenn, a very heavily senior-laden team for the Eagles.
Caleb Farrell and Grant Rogers check in for the Eagles and Redskins, respectively.
Ouch.
Hard foul.
Yeah, it was a hard foul.
Thought he had his feet set.
That wood floor doesn't give very well.
Good point.
Anderson's going to press. Milford easily breaks the press.
Baseline drive by Dickerson. No look pass across the lane to
Sluter. Wow.
To Huxell, but Sluter
dropped it in. Sluter's having a night.
12 points now.
He's doubled his average.
Oh, he had 4 at the end of the half, so he's got 8 in here in the second half already. Plenty of ball left to be played before Coach Cameron has seen enough to start emptying the bench a little bit, but no underclassmen with jerseys off that I see, or T-shirts.
You know, we talked about at the opening about the remaining schedule for both teams, and both teams, next 3 of their 4 games are on the road. So, you know, you got these seniors for both squads that, you know, especially Milford, because this is their home court, they want to do a nice performance in front of their home fans, right? They got one more game. The 15th is their last regular season game for the seniors.
Right, and basketball, of course, all neutral sites once you get into the tournament. Milford has had to travel to the other side of town the last few years, a couple years at Lakota West and a couple years at Hamilton. So the seeding shall be interesting.
Yep.
Sluter from the right side knocks it through. 14 now, 61-22. You know, Anderson is stuck with that press, and
yes, they have.
Milford has capitalized on it. Boy, there's an off-balance shot.
Yeah.
Won't fall through for Ryan Kelly. Rebounded by the Eagles. Quickly down to their end of the floor. Huxell tries to go through 3 defenders. Passes it off to Dickerson. No foul called underneath. Struggle for control on the floor, and there's a jump ball.
Referees are definitely letting them play here, Glenn, as they should.
No sense of dragging this one out, right?
It's 39-point lead for the Eagles.
Not to be flip, but
yeah, you're right.
You're not benefiting anyone by calling every ticky-tack foul.
No.
And as you and I have discussed both on and off the air, you could really call a foul every trip down the floor.
Without question.
And these coaches continue to lose their mind on the sideline looking for fouls. It just kind of makes me laugh sometimes. Even at the, at every level of basketball, you could call one. Huxell for 3.
Wow, he's put on a heck of a performance tonight.
20 points unofficially.
Yeah.
20 of the team's 64 coming from number 0. There's a trap. Then at the other end, coming off that press. Milford able to get out of it. Sluter again, just inside 3-point line. That one won't fall though. It's rebounded by Joey Newton. Newton will bring it down for the Redskins. And there
you see what's happening now, right?
Yep.
It's time for that to happen.
Stephen Huxell with the finger roll. 22 points now. Next dead ball, all the starters are going to come out, and there's the whistle.
There it is. We got a foul.
Brady Sluter picks up his 3rd foul.
And we're going to have a wholesome substitutions here.
Well, Cade Riesenberg's going to come back in, but we've got 10, 11, 15 coming in with Jack Lyle. So number 10's Joey Round, number 11's Cole Cheney, number 15's Adam Harris.
Here's the last 3-pointer. From the corner.
Yep.
Huxell. Boom.
We've said it a couple times tonight. If you're going to give him an uncontested look at the basket where he can get set, he will make you pay.
Absolutely. First free throw is no good.
And Newton. Boy, you got to make those. They're free. They continue to struggle all facets of shooting tonight, obviously with a 44-point lead.
Fouls. Put Joey Round on the. We got a replay. I know we've been talking about ball movement, but just watch the extra passes by the Eagles here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, before, and the shot. Great ball movement by the Eagles, and it resulted in an easy layup by Sluter.
Foul was called on the Redskins. Austin Manier, it's his first, team's fourth of the half. There's a turnover. Jack Lyles tried to bounce pass, didn't quite get to where he was wanting it to go. And so we just talked about the referees letting them play, but now that the JV guys are in, they're going to let the whistles. So Adam Harris, who just substituted in, picks up his first foul. That's 9 for Milford. So Anderson 1 away from the double bonus.
Ryan Kelly on the line. He's a guard, junior, I'm sorry.
First free throw's good.
In front of the rim and in.
Doesn't matter how it gets there as long as it goes through.
Just like golf, Glenn. You don't diagram your score. You just put a number down.
Mine usually looks like a snowman.
let's not go down that road.
Yeah, well, anybody out there is listening that's played with me, they know all too well. So. I would take some golf weather right around now, though.
You know, it's an amazing sport. You go out there, you play twice a year, and you get all upset because you're not scoring well.
Yeah.
But you're not practicing, right?
Yeah, right. Well, that's, not to turn serious, but that's a real struggle in the golf industry right now.
Yeah.
The millennials do not want or have the time to put into practicing, and then they don't want to spend 4 or 5 hours out playing around, and hence that's why you have Topgolfs going up in every city in the United States, it seems like.
It's amazing.
So the foul was on Joey Round. Ryan Kelly goes to the free throw line and
here's a replay
misses the front end. That's 10 for Milford now in the half. And yep, there you see, just
whacked on the arm.
Yep, second one's good for Kelly.
Anderson staying in the press.
Yeah, they give these JV guys some exposure to that at the varsity level. Milford continue to kick that ball around. Very patient offensively. Opportunity to show to Coach Cameron what he's going to have in the cabinet for the future. Riesenberg, the only non-underclassman out on the floor at this point, I believe.
Milford again passing that ball and using some clock as well.
Three-pointer goes up from the right side, will not fall through for Adam Harris.
I was wondering we were going to see Ackerman, the other 6'8" guy. He's just took his jersey off. He's going to get ready to go into the game. Ackerman's a sophomore, so you talk about what's coming up. You got another big guy coming up here.
Imagine
next year.
He'll take the place of Riesenberg. There's a timeout on the floor, but the last three-pointer was for Anderson's Jack Huster, who came in with no scoring average, but gets 3 points up pretty quickly for the Redskins.
He's getting in the scorebook on.
All that matters.
All that matters.
So timeout was taken on the floor, I believe, by Anderson. Maybe an opportunity for Coach Delatelle to start emptying out his bench as well. We'll get that confirmed here in a minute once the video board keeps playing. Couldn't quite hear who called it. No, that was a Milford timeout, so both teams now with 2 remaining.
2:45 to go in the game.
Milford at 10 team fouls, Anderson with 4. Possession arrow in favor of the Redskins. Now you know what you need to know in terms of the final 2.5 minutes.
There you go, Glenn. Great job tonight, Glenn.
Thanks.
You're running on fumes a little bit, making all those flights and delays and all that. And you get out here to the nest, and your game didn't suffer one bit, brother.
Well, I appreciate it. Right back in the saddle, huh?
Yep.
I got the easy job.
Yeah. and you had your wingman behind you over
right.
here in case you couldn't pull it off.
Yep.
Your son David's who does this for Roger Bacon, right?
He does PA for Roger Bacon.
Yeah.
And he's done some ICRC-TV work before. He was on our award winner the season before last for Roger Bacon and St. Xavier, did sideline reporting in that game.
Yep.
So yeah, not a stranger to the ICRC-TV airwaves.
He could have pitched it if you were falling asleep over here. I'd have slowly taken that headset off and given it to David. Just kidding, Glenn. I give David credit. He's hung in here the whole game. I don't know why, but he's hung in here.
Yeah.
Unless he's looking for something from you.
Dinner after.
Dinner, there you go. Oh.
66-27.
Well, he learned that from somebody. I don't know where he learned that from.
I think it's just a natural instinct among the adolescent species, right? Can I get free food? There's a little floater. Nice. Going to fall through for Jack Lyles. Give him 9 in the game.
Nice.
So Lyles, one of the semi-regular players, still out on the floor. There you see that big number 32, Jack Ackerman, that Mike was talking about. He's a 6'8" sophomore center. He's really been a force on that JV team this year.
He's looking a little lost out there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, fadeaway 3 will not go, or fadeaway shot won't go. It wasn't a 3. Milford back down quickly, trying to feed it to the inside, but might have been deflected, might have been a little bit of a hot pass.
He looks like he's struggling a little bit out there. Maybe it's from sitting on that bench for an hour and a half and then no opportunity to warm up. It's like, Ackerman, get in there.
Yeah, it's not like baseball where you can go throw for 10 or 15 minutes, right? It's
right.
Pull your shirt off and get in the game.
Yeah, right.
And he did play a full JV game earlier. Not that he played every minute, but he was out there for all 4 quarters.
Those muscles get a little sore, don't they, after a while?
Oh, yeah. Lyles push from behind, but still gets his shot to fall. 11 points in the game for Lyles. We're under a minute now, as you can see on your screen. Final 50 seconds of this contest, 70-27.
Well, and I would tell you, coming into tonight, I thought Milford was going to win the game, but if you would have said to me, Mike, would the spread have been what we see here, I would have said absolutely no way.
Yeah. Well, after that tough loss to McNicholas, I'm sure that was a couple of intense days of practice for the Eagles, and Coach Cameron lit a fire.
You think they were doing some gassers?
They're doing something. And you got all day to share the gym as opposed to 3 or 4 hours on a normal school day, right?
Yeah, right.
So 40 points now is the deficit, 70-30, approaching 30 seconds to go in this contest.
I would imagine Coach Cameron said, do not shoot that ball.
I just saw him shake his head and say no, so you read his mind.
Yeah.
For sure, but he doesn't want to turn it over and give Anderson a chance to lessen that deficit.
Wow.
Oh, wow, nice move, Joey Round.
Nice reverse layup there.
Round's been a star on that JV team this year and had an ankle injury suffered about 2 weeks ago, and he's rebounding nicely from that. There's Round. He's going to drive in. No foul's going to be called on Overby, when there probably would have been had this been a closer game.
Wow.
So that will do it. Your final score, Milford 74, Anderson 30. The Eagles will improve to 8-10 overall and 5-6 in the Eastern Cincinnati Conference. The Anderson Redskins will fall to 2-16 and 1-10 in the ECC, Mike.
That's tough. That's tough. You talked about getting into the tournament. They're going to get a seed of somebody that's going to be really, really high, and they're going to have a very low seed. So, you know what? Come back for Anderson. Get ready on Tuesday to play McNick, right?
Yep.
In life, in basketball, you got to have a short memory, right?
That's for sure. You never know how things are going to shake out, for sure. But you got to figure when you're talking about top seeds in Cincinnati right now, Moeller. You're talking about Princeton. You're talking about Lakota East. So some very good basketball being played here in town right now, and especially over in the GMC. So I do want to take a moment to thank Sean Sell, the sports information director here at Milford High School, for feeding us with our statistics tonight. 23 turnovers is how the Redskins are going to end up, 13 for the Eagles. 34 total rebounds for Milford, 24 for the Redskins. Pretty clean game from a foul standpoint. Really nobody had gotten into foul trouble. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the rebounds. Milford had 28 defensive rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds, and if you look at Anderson, 17 and 7 respectively. So Milford definitely dominated on the board. They dominated on the court. They dominated on the free throw line, on the three-point line. This is just total domination by Milford.
A tough shooting night for the Redskins. They end up just over 21% on the game, 16, just under 17% beyond the arc. But James Camden really struggled shooting tonight for the Redskins, 1 of 10 from beyond the three-point line. Stephen Huxell, 2 of 4 for the Eagles.
Yeah, Huxell, we talked about 24 points, led the Eagles. Then you had Sluter and Lyles and a host of other guys. So great game by Milford. They'll get ready to play. Let's see who they play next. Glenn, I think they're playing Taft.
At Taft.
At Taft. That'd be a heck of a challenge for them.
For our executive producer, Jason Dudley, our producer director tonight, Josh Simstrop, my partner, Michael Orienti. Thanks for tuning in to High School Hoops on ICRC-TV Sports. I'm Glenn Olson. We'll see you next time.
Good night.